MLB The Show on Friday decided to drop the next stage of Team Affinity. Now, this is a little bit different than my journey. This is sort of separate, and it's a little bit easier to get the cards. But as we know, not all cards are created equal. So today, I wanted to at least show you what I think is a little bit worth more so getting than not, and really kind of where to go and the best way to do it. So if you like this stuff, leave a like down below. Helps me out a ton. Let me know your favorite card if you're into that. So without further ado, let's get into this, and let's see, well, how some of these cards are in fact created. Sound good? I hope it does, because we're going there right now. So here we are with the Team Affinity stuff now. There's two different programs here, as you see here. We got Color Storm and then My Journey. Now, there is a bit of a connection here to do this first and foremost. Now, the way this to go about here is I suggest you start off with the moments, get your 10,000 points, and then from there, you can kind of go about it a couple different ways. If you have the Jill card, just knock it out. The pitchers are 3 innings pitched, so 1 conquest game, 1 mini seasons game, 3 innings of beating a computer's skulls in, if you need to do that. And for the hitters, it's 5 hits. Is it that difficult? Not really. Ultimately, the hitters mission, I would skip the pitching because it's 25. The hitters is only 15 with the team. And remember, we're still on, as of recording this, still 5 times for home runs, so bullying the computer in any way, shape, or form is going to be the way to go, because you'll get this pretty easy. Tie it in with your hitter, and remember, you're going to get total bases too. It's going to be probably easier than you probably think to get some of this done. And plus, here with 10 being already done, this will put you at 20, this will put you at 40, and then the total bases there will put you at 50 to ultimately get your card. Now, to start this off with, I do think this Ben Joyce card is actually pretty decent. The biggest thing here, and I heard somebody else talking about it, he does have a double outlier, and they talk about how sometimes this can work against you. I disagree. The way the sinker works and the way the circle changeup works and the changeup work in this game is they are on the same plane. So really, if you are good at tunneling, you're going to be able to probably get some swings off, because they're going to assume it's going to be a sinker. And mind you, there isn't a mile per hour difference. So if you're in that same vicinity where it's breaking down and away, more than likely you're going to get some swings. Now, I know that some people are going to have a weird thing with the control. It's at 81, but his brakes there, his par is going to be a little bit wonky. But if a lot of guys can't hit velocity, he's definitely going to be a guy you're going to see in the bullpen pretty often from here on out. Now, speaking of the bullpen, there's another guy who is going to be absolutely disgusting out of the bullpen. And that's right, boys and girls. It is Blake Trinan. Blake Trinan has been disgusting since I can remember. Sweeper, sinker, 4-seam, and a cutter. He's gross. The sweeper is his primary pitch. It's going to be disgusting as all get out. He has pickoff and day planner, so there's a little bit of that there. His per 9s are gross as all hell. He's also going to be a guy you're probably going to see out of the bullpen for some time. He is a 91. We don't have a whole lot of bullpen options. He is going to be an absolute disgusting. Did I say disgusting card? With good control, good velocity, good break, good per 9s. Clutch is really up there. His hit per 9's up there. I can glaze this card for days. It's going to be absolutely gross and disgusting. He is a nasty, nasty boy. Now, shifting our gears over here a smidgen, I backed out of it entirely. That was my bad. Let's talk about a starter pitcher who could be a wee bit sneaky. This guy, I'm not necessarily against. I'm not necessarily on either. However, a sinker, cutter, slider, the pitches there are great to me. Sinker, cutter is very meta, even though I don't think it's as good as some people think it is. The slider to break it away, the 4-seam and the circle change. I'm really big on the circle change sinker too, because I think having something break in that same form is really, really good. He's got very good control here. It's 90. His velocity is not as fast, but he's got the break and stuff. Look, truthfully, when it comes to starter cards, I think sometimes we overlook guys who don't throw gas, but 94 is going to get the job done, truthfully, and especially in spots where not every time you need a guy to throw a 99, 100. Sometimes something like this will just throw it off. It's sort of like, think Greg Maddux, for instance. Greg Maddux cards are slower than piss, and yet they're usually fairly decent along the way. To me, at least. Maybe I'm totally off something here. However, one of the best hitters in this set is none other than Brent Rooker. Brent Rooker is an absolute dog. I'm not going to show you the speed because you don't need, his speed is horrid. However, 99 101, 95 or 95 101, 99 108. The dude's going to hit the piss out of the ball. He's fielding. If you want to play him in left, by all means, you can try. Just lose him as your DH. His gold card was good. This card's just an upgraded version of it, and by golly, he's gross. He is disgusting. Please, everyone, get this card as soon as possible. He's going to be absolutely gross. And plus, you get the Kelly Green jerseys. Isn't the Kelly Green jerseys amazing as well? Another pitcher I am high on, and this just might be a specs thing because I love sinker changeup so much, but I think Brian Woo's card here is going to be a sneak card that not a lot of people are going to be using. Now, looking at him, four-seam sinker, slider, circle change, sweeper, two different breaks that mask pretty well. The sinker, again, we talked about the pitches going down and to the right. Same thing there. He's a stopper, homebody. I think this card's going to be a sneaky good card. His motion is a little bit slow, but I think that's a price we can pay. But if you're looking for, again, a card that's going to have decent enough control, the brake's not quite as there, but per nines are adequate, and I think the hiding sinker circle change is going to be good enough. And the best part is there is some miles per hour difference, and on top of it too, with the slider being that same speed, the three off-speed breaking pitches are kind of within the same velocity range. So if they're kind of looking the same out of the hand, which I think they could be, you're going to be in a very good spot where you're going to be able to hide things pretty well, and especially we keep things on the same plane and kind of the same somewhat quadrant. I think he's going to sneak under the radar and be a very, very sneaky good pitcher. At least that's kind of what I think, but I've never claimed to be the wizard at this sort of situation here. Jeff Hoffman of the Blue Jays, I think, is another one. If you used his gold card, you'll know for certain that this card was pretty good. Four-seam splitter, slider, sinker. It's just an upgraded version. His gold was a mainstay in a lot of people's bullpens. So now this is just that natural evolution. Now you go get the diamond. It's going to do wonders in the pen. And again, we need the bullpen help. There's not a whole lot of bullpen pieces out there. So he's definitely one to get. Now, the card that sort of snuck up on me, but I think he might be a very sneaky one, is this card right here. Good old Javi Baez. He can play short, third, and center. Balanced against the right. 186 against left. His clutch will bring his right-handed contactness up. His vision isn't as bad as it probably should be. But the fielding will be adequate at short. Good enough out there. I think he can even play center if you really want to. A lot of people like his swing as a former cover athlete here for 5 years ago. Wow. But he's good. He's one of the better shortstops you're going to get at the moment, which is always a plus because I think up the middle we've been built kind of oddly. This is an honorable mention card. Some people like him, and it's Brian Abreu. He's a three-pitch guy, four-seam slider, circle change. The per nines are there, the velocity's there, the breaks there, the pitching clutches there. Some people get out with three pitches. I'm not one of them. I think there's enough speed differential here to be okay. He's kind of a sneaky guy. If you want to try to get him and use him, I think he'll have some value. The best way to put it is I think if you like Clase, you're probably going to like him, except he has a breaking pitch. He has a slider and an off-speed pitch that are going to be around the same velocity-wise. So maybe there's a little bit more leeway from him than versus the Clase, which is just everything's hard. This guy's got a little bit of off-speed. So take that for sort of what it could be and what it is. One more card here in the AL that stood out to me was this guy. I like Royce Lewis's swing, 90, 107, 97, 78. I think he'll be good. I loved his swing the last couple of years. He's always a gold I try to use. He'll be a sneaky third baseman. To be fair, there's at least three that I think are very good. He's probably the weakest of them, but I want to give him a nod. I do think this card is balanced if you're looking for a third baseman to call your own and use. here to get things going. I just want to remember, who was the Yankees one? Oh, right. The Yankees was Luis Hill. Luis Hill is sort of in the same boat. I probably enjoy him. Again, sinker circle change is just my thing. He doesn't have double outlier. He just has breaker outlier. But if you're in a pinch, Luis Hill could also be one for you there as well. Definitely could be there for you. Jumping to the National League. Sneaky guy number one. This is just sneaky, guys. He's just a sneaky fella. He just slides under the radar. JT Realmuto has a good swing. This card reminds me numbers wise to his all-star card from 2020 or 2021. One of the two. I don't remember which one. It might have been 21. It was definitely 21. Or I don't know. Wherever the one was in Colorado a couple years ago. Was it 21? It was somewhere in there. 22. Was it 22? It might have been 22. Nevertheless, I like his card. Mainly, he has pop time, which will be a little bit easier to throw guys out. It'll help you a little bit. But again, these numbers look vaguely similar to that card, and I love that card. So I don't see why I wouldn't love this card as well. He's got good defense. He can swing. He's got some speed. So good card, sneaky card, very balanced. I think this card's gonna be really, really well built. Looking, we talked about the Dodgers. Here's the starting pit. There's a couple starting pitchers from the NL Central that I think are sneaky good as well. Jared Jones, I think, is a good pitcher to add to your rotation. Four-seam slider, curve, changeup, sinker. Why? Again, I think changeup, sinker is very slept upon. And the curveball, I think if you can locate it, is a good pitch. The problem is people sometimes don't know how to locate these pitches, and because they're used to pitching a certain way, they don't tend to throw the curveball where it needs to be, which is a little bit down. And I know people will complain and say, well, that's where you can extend your PCI. If it's on the corner, you're going to be fine. And if it gets hit, it gets hit. Big effing deal. The four seam, the slider, the circle change, and sinker, I think are adequate enough to do here as well. He doesn't have any quirks, but I think it's good enough. He's balanced enough to get at least something done, and he might be a fun card. I know the per nines aren't exactly exciting, but the clutch is there, and the velocity is there. So if you talk about guys who can hit velocity that you face, he could be good. Maybe I'm just high on him because I want a good Jared Jones card. I don't know. I think it's better than people want to admit. Now let's talk about probably the best card in the series. Was good old Mark Vientos. This card is an absolute tank. 95 103, 98 92. His clutch is 90, so that's a little bit of an issue. Defense is very okay, but it's at the hot corner. I wish they gave him first base secondary, but they didn't. So nevertheless, there you go. Free, very top tier third baseman that could be used until you get Roland or somebody else. Now the other one here is good old Austin Riley. Austin Riley, I think, is also very adequate. Balanced hitter against 98 80 against righties, 102 98 lefties, better lefty hitter. His clutch is 110, so that'll bring him up. He has enough power to where I think against righties in clutch situations, he'll be fine. I think 80 is the threshold, so up parallels, he'll be good. He can play the defense really, really well. I think he's going to be adequate over there at third base. Like, that's fairly decent there. And the final pitcher, probably the final card, we'll do one. Actually, there's one more I want to talk about. This card, this Nick Lodolo, I think's okay for a lefty. Four-seam sinker, sort of change slurve. He had a card, I think, in 20 that was okay. I don't know if they switched his pitch mix up too much, but I think he could fit a little bit. He's probably lower on my radar when it comes to this, but it's adequate. I think the four-seam sinker being the same pitch speed is an interesting combination, but I think the circle change and slurve will be off enough. I don't think you necessarily see him all the time, but I think if you get him early and try him, he might do better than you think. But again, it kind of depends on how you feel about certain pitch mixes. And then last but certainly not least, at least in the cards that I think are kind of exciting here, is Yuri Gurriel Jr., who I think this set was made for. 78 84, 110 81. His clutch is 95, so it'll help him against righties. It'll hurt him a little bit against lefties. The fielding's there. He can play very good left field. Well, not very good, but adequate enough out there. His offense will carry you a little bit. It's all in all probably a very very good, very well balanced car. That'll get the job done as you go about sort of playing it. Some other cards that I think might deserve something He's sort of a PCA knockoff here with the fielding. Let me remove my camera here just so you can see. He's a little bit of a knockoff of PCA. He's got the very good speed. The defense is adequate out there. He's very high contact. I know a lot. I kind of don't like these high contact cards anymore, but I think the fielding's there if you are struggling to do a little bit of defense or want more out there. Victor Scott's a guy you can go out there and try to get. Not the most exciting guy in the world, but hey, what are we going to do? But I wanted to throw that out there just at the end here because I think sometimes that's a little bit important. Well, those are just some of the cards that I thought stood out to me. I will definitely be doing this over the weekend to get some of these other cards. There are certain ones that I think are just bad. Like I said, those were a handful. Those are just the ones I think if you want to start with those, it's definitely there. Remember, the big thing you want to get is 15 of them by the 13th of June when the next really big collection sort of comes out. And again, there's no rush to get any of this stuff done. It'll just tear on itself, but getting a little bit ahead will help. And again, you only need 15 cards, and they shouldn't take you that long to get. So if I missed anyone that you think is exciting, let me know down below in the comment section. Well, that being said, my name is Specs, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.